Okay, I thought I'd share what I've been doing here the last few days. I've been up in the attic and pulling some wire. It's been almost all up in the attic I've been working, so which is not the most fun in the world, but I've made it. Well, you'll see in a minute. I've made it so it's a little more workable. So I've got this ladder is always up there. Actually, it stores up there. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but that's nice. I don't have to haul that in every time I need it. And then there's this opening I cleaned up once upon a time, framed it real nice. It was pretty ugly. So anyway, we're going to go up here in the attic, and I'll show you what I've been up to. And I just recently put a lot more lighting than I had before. So I had some old extension cords that needed repair, and I fixed those and put caps and plugs on them, and then it goes all the way down there to the end. See, this whole attic is all truss work. You can kind of see. So I've got these there's horizontal, all those horizontal boards that you see in the lower part of the picture there. So you can step down across. All these trusses are like 2 feet apart. And those weren't there. I built all those, and actually I just added a whole bunch more last week, so you can go all the way down to the far end. That's the west end of the attic. So we're looking west right now, and that makes it a lot easier to get around. And there's little platforms and stuff that I've added over time that made it easier to get to stuff. You know, if you got to fix stuff in the bathroom, or mostly bathroom, or plumbing stuff and wiring. I just dropped a screwdriver. I don't know where it went. Here it is. So anyway, the main reason I came up here is I'm installing a 40 amp branch circuit out of the panel board that's at the front of the garage, and I'm going to run a circuit all the way to the backyard. 240 volts, 40 amps. And it's about 80 feet of wire. I think I bought 90 feet of wire for this project, so I'd have plenty left over, but I think it works out to about 80 feet. And that round thing you see there is where I had the cable wrapped, so I could just pull it off the reel. It didn't come on a reel, it was just, the wire was just rolled up. So I built that reel, and it's got a little mount on it, and you can just pull it right off of there. And the main run just goes from that reel, and then it goes all the way down to the end there, and we'll go down there in a minute, and then it makes a left turn and pokes through you can see that vertical wall there, kind of on the center of your picture. That's the wall that goes into the garage, and then it just pokes through a hole and goes into the garage. So that all worked out pretty good. There's another little pulley arrangement at the other end that helps me get around the corner into the garage, but it pulled in pretty easily. The only part that was really difficult was over here, and there's an area between there's cathedral ceilings, and the one over there on the right is over the bedroom, and the one on the left over here is over the living room. And then there's a there's a space between them that's really narrow and hard to get to, and I put a exhaust fan over the shower way back there in the end many years ago. You can see where the duct penetrates the roof, and so I put this 2x6 board in there to make it easier to walk down there, and that little plywood platform I put in there when I was putting the fan in. So I managed, but I really hate working down there because it's really confined. But that was once I pulled the wire from that reel you just saw, and then did the 90 degrees and pulled it all the way out through the garage up to the panel board. I took the excess wire and then that was left over, and I ran it down this little corridor, if you will, and the wire leaves. You can kind of see that there's a black line down there. That's the wire, and there's a hole drilled in one of the eave boards, and it goes right out the attic, and it ends up in a weatherproof box. So that's all done. I just finished stapling it all in place, so it's fixed now. So let's go down to the other end here, and it's kind of slow because I have to hold the camera, and I've lost the use of one arm while I walk through here, and you really got to be doing it like that. You got to really be careful, one step at a time. But having all these nice horizontal boards sure is a lot nicer. I used to have to, because I just put these, what you see in this picture, I just put those in last week, because I just didn't go down there that often, and it was a lot of work to build all this stuff. And anyway, I finally said, okay, if I'm going to go down there and pull this wire, and I got to put a pulley in there and penetrate the wall, and I'm not going to be going down there doing that monkey motion anymore. Just try and imagine walking down there on those slanted boards every 2 feet apart and manipulating your body through it, going sideways and leaning against the wall. It was really a pain in the ass. But it's pretty easy now. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable just going here with holding the camera, because it's got these nice horizontal boards, and I've got something to hang on to overhead, so it works out pretty good. And I've got a lot of light in here now too, so I can see what's going on, because there's a lot of crap down on the floor, pipes and wires and duct work and insulation and all kinds of fun stuff. So now we're getting back to the end. You can see here's the wire, and I just finished stapling it up to about where you're looking at right now. And the next thing I'm going to do, I have to take out the pulley where it goes around the corner, and maybe I can get a shot of that. And the lighting here isn't really all that hot, but this is the maybe if I do it from above you can see it better. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So it's on, there's two rollers 90 degrees apart. You can see the roller there, and then the wire goes through that little the electrical wire goes through that wire loop, so it guides the wire around the pulley, and then there's another same thing on the other side, so when you're pulling it out into the garage, it keeps the wire that you're pulling on the roller so it doesn't slip off. And it worked really good, but now I got to take it off, and the only way to take it off is I've got to unscrew the... Okay, so I removed the pulley. I kind of lost the video. I was trying to do work and photograph at the same time. That doesn't work very well. So I put a couple more staples in here. But anyway, what I wanted to show was that's where all the wire goes out into the garage on that little. There's a pipe right here. It's the gas pipe, and then there's a bunch of wiring there. It's all branch circuits, and I think these are cables for the. I don't have cable TV, but I got internet, so that goes into a couple rooms, and then this is this black fat one here is the one I just pulled, and that's a 2-conductor 6-gauge each, and those are both insulated, stranded and insulated within the sheath, and then there's a bare number 10 ground inside that. So all I got to do is clean up this mess a little bit. It's just kind of wrapped up in some other Romex to sort of keep it from moving around, and that's about it. It's not beautiful, but that's the way they did it. And I've run another couple other circuits in here and just let it go. So anyway, that's the end of the inside of the attic, and then I'll do some more showing you what I did on the outside at the under the eaves and at the panel board. Okay, goodbye for now. Got everything hooked up and powered and tested, and all looks pretty good. So I'm just going to give you an idea what was entailed, or what I was trying to do here. The outlet is under the eaves. You can't see it. It's over there by the ladders, and we'll go there in a minute. And basically what I want to do is just run an extension cord from that outlet, and I'm going to just make a little work area here in the foreground somehow. I haven't figured all that out yet. Then I can just, I've got fresh air, and I can weld out here and goof around now and again. That's the idea. I just want to be able to weld stuff now and again. So the outlet that came down that little corridor, so to speak, in the attic we saw a little while ago, that's the end of the line right there. It's in a weatherproof box, and there's a conduit that runs into the attic, and then there's a weatherproof lid on it, and there's the NEMA 6-50R receptacle, and right now I've got a 40 amp breaker over on the panel, and I got number 6 wire, so I could go with a bigger breaker later if I wanted to, but I doubt that I'm ever going to want to go anything that big. So it all came out pretty good. I kind of had to struggle with the terminations because the wire is really fat and hard to work with, but I managed to get it after a while. So from here, to give you an idea how far it is to the panel, which is where I had to run the wire from the panel to that little box we just saw here. There's the panel boards all the way up here in the front. I say, I figure it's about 80 feet of wire, I think, is what I used. So here's the panel board. And I've cleaned it up a little bit. I put panel schedules and circuit numbers, and you can see what's going on there. So the one I just added is this one down here at the bottom where it says Patio E 240 outlet, and it's a 40 amp 2-pole breaker. And I had to pull wire into that from inside the garage, which is where we were looking at a little while ago. Let's see. So that's the top of the panel inside here. And there's that black wire that we saw earlier. And it goes up and it runs along that board there in the garage. It's just on top of that board, and it goes all the way down. And here, Gracie, there's the board. See, runs all the way down here, and then there's that mess of wires we were looking at from the other side not too long ago. So this part wasn't too bad. You just lay the wire on there and kind of wrap it up so it doesn't go anywhere, and so it should be in good shape. What do you think? Was it a good job? Okay, thank you. Alright, so next thing is someday we'll get a welder and maybe we'll put some metal together. That should be fun. Okay, bye.